welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon, and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. One of the most difficult aspects of the recovery for me has been contemplation, has been really thinking back to the way that things were and wondering how this could have happened. Why didn't I see this? Why did I let this happen? Whatever it is, you put yourself in this spot. You're thinking with the knowledge you have today back then and wondering why you didn't do things differently. It's very, very painful. And I've spoken to Joe about this, and we both have tried to help each other with this. It really is, you have to be careful when you're contemplating things in the past that you're not looking at it with today's eyes, knowing what you know today and trying to judge yourself for what you didn't know back then. But it's still painful. So what I want to do in today's video is I want to talk about some things that I wish I had seen differently when they happened early in my entanglement. Things I really wish I could go back in time and change. I can't, but I can try to reach my hand down and pull someone else up who might be experiencing these things now. And maybe, just maybe, you'll recognize these things sooner than I did. So the first thing I want to talk about that I wish I had reacted to differently at the beginning of my entanglement was silent treatments. Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know my ex is the king of silent treatments. Nobody gives a better silent treatment than him. He has the world record of 2 years with his own kids, 7 months with me. That's the type of thing, guys, silent treatment was my kryptonite. He got me with that. It just, for whatever reason, I actually shouldn't even say whatever reason. I do know what it is. You know, we're social creatures. So when you're denied interaction from somebody, it hurts. And the narcissist, it seems to come out of nowhere. And it actually, there's been brain scans done of people where when you're given a silent treatment, the pain receptors in your brain light up in the exact same place that you would feel physical pain. So emotional pain, your body registers it as physical pain. Narcissism, people who give silent treatments, that's abuse. It's abusing you. I was so confused when I would get these silent treatments. I didn't know what was happening. I grew up in a narcissistic home. My father is an overt narcissist. Now, in my experience, overt narcissists do not give silent treatments because they like to criticize you. They like to talk. They like to tell you that you're ugly, fat, whatever it is they want to tell you. They never want to stop giving you this information. They want you to feel bad. They seem to enjoy it. Coverts are the ones that give these silent treatments, and you don't know what's going on. My ex, so I didn't grow up with silent treatments. I didn't know what they were. I had no clue. And so when my ex would start giving me these silent treatments, I was confused. I didn't know what was happening. It would seemingly come out of nowhere. I don't remember if he gave me silent treatments when we were dating. He probably did, but I definitely remember when we were living in a certain house in Massachusetts. We moved to Massachusetts. Well, we lived there when we were first married, and we moved to a house in Massachusetts about a year after we got married. And in that house is where I remember really experiencing my first silent treatments. I couldn't understand. And then, of course, he would come home and he would just suddenly not be speaking to me. So now I know he was probably mad at me for something and was punishing me. But there was no comprehension of what could have happened. I did not think it was anything I did. I didn't know what happened. So I assumed it was something at work, right? Because he would just come home and it was fine that morning, and then it just wouldn't be. And so, what's wrong? Honey, did you have a bad day? Can I help you? Can I do something? I'm trying to figure out what it is, but he's punishing me. As time went on, the silent treatments got worse and worse. If you are with someone who gives you silent treatments, I am telling you, it doesn't get better. As difficult as that is to hear, I wanted my ex, because it didn't make sense. Well, you could just talk to me. Why would you do this? It's so easy to fix. The reality is a narcissist is so mentally defeated. There's something really, really wrong, and they're never going to understand what they've done. The healing part, the way to become free of this is to free yourself from the entanglement. So silent treatments, I wish I had never put up with it. Today, I wouldn't put up with a silent treatment for 1 second. I'm happy today that I'm like that, but I can't go back in time and change my reaction to my ex giving me a silent treatment. But if you are early in an entanglement and someone is giving you a silent treatment, that speaks volumes. Silent treatments are very loud. The second thing that I noticed, and I don't know if this is something that, I don't know if this is a narcissist thing. I guess maybe it is to a degree to certain ones. My ex was a mama's boy. Now, I noticed this when I was dating him, and it was not attractive to me. However, I had some confusion with this because I really, really wanted to have the best possible family. Who doesn't, right? It was really like I was dating. I was very conscious about not being with someone like my father. I wanted someone with a good family, and I was willing to pay the price for that. So there were certain things about my ex I didn't like. He really was a mama's boy. He was in his late 20s, and his parents were still taking him on vacation and giving him spending money. Stuff like that I didn't like. I thought it was weird. I just did. I thought, and that doesn't mean I don't think people should go on vacations with their older children. Joe and I talk about doing that type of thing. If I can help my kids out, I want to do things for them. So it isn't like I don't want to do things, but it seemed over the top. My ex was balding, and he used to take that Rogaine. I think it was called Rogaine. And his mother would pay for that every month because she said, well, you get the bald gene from the mother side of the family, so it's the least I can do. My ex, he saw this leather coat one time and he really wanted it. He called his mother and was like, Mom, this is leather coat I really, really like. Can you pay for it and give it to me for Christmas? It was stuff like that where I looked at it and I didn't like it. It gave me an unsettled feeling. I wish I had had more knowledge about what a good family really is, the type of thing that good families do, what it means to be in a good family. Instead, it was just his parents are wealthy, his family is together, they're close-knit, they go on vacation, and this is what I want for my life too. I wish I had realized, well, those do make good families, but there are other things that are included in that don't make good families. It is a little weird the way that he is. And I wish I had gone back. I wish I could go back in time and think to myself, all right, no, this actually isn't okay with me. Like Paris said recently, and she has such a good view on a male-female relationship. So Joe's youngest is going to the prom soon. It's actually tomorrow is the prom. And we were talking about parents paying for the prom. And Paris was so funny. She was like, if I was going on a date with somebody, if I was going to the prom and I found out that their parents were paying for it, that their parents were actually taking me out on the date, that wouldn't be cool. And it was just funny when she said that. And it made me think back to my ex. Like, she knows. Look, if we're going on a date, you should be paying for it, not your parents. When my ex and I got engaged, he called his parents, and his mother was like, use my credit card and go out to eat tonight. It's that type of thing. It's not what I was looking for in a relationship, but I saw that and I don't know. I was so naive, you guys. I didn't know. It came from a narcissistic family. It's all I knew. I was so desperately trying to get away from it. I had just had to break up with somebody. I'm getting involved with this person who I thought was different than they were, and it just messed me up. But today I can look back and I hope that it can help somebody else not to make these same exact mistakes. Another thing I want to talk about is cruelty. And it's not just like silent treatment, that's cruelty too. It's physical abuse. My ex, he did physically abuse me at the beginning of our entanglement. It morphed into more of emotional abuse. This was not a physically abusive relationship long term, but it did happen a few times. So I knew he was capable of it. Today, when I think about that, when I think about my own daughter, if somebody lifted a finger to her under any circumstances, no matter what, it would never be okay with me that she was still with that person. I didn't have any respect for myself. I never thought, how dare he? I never thought to myself, whether it was a silent treatment or physical abuse, how dare he? Who the hell does he think he is? There is no way. Instead, I put up with it. I became the silent little mouse wife, that didn't want to say anything, that was afraid all the time of upsetting her ex. When my ex, I found out he stole money from my kids, I stayed. It's things like that. You know, when Joe and I, we've talked about this, we kind of laugh that if you're involved with a narcissist, right, if you've been involved with a narcissist, it's going to be very difficult for you to ever be in a relationship with a healthy person, because we would be giving off the red flags. You know, Joe and I did this to each other. When he was telling me how his ex had cheated on him 4 or 5 times, and I thought to myself, why the heck would he stay with her? What's wrong with him? Not remembering, right? That it's kind of like that Bible verse, don't take a splinter out of your own eye. No, what does it take before you take the splinter out of your brother's eye, take the pole out of your eye. I'm horribly quoting the Bible, but it's something kind of like that. So I was thinking that about Joe, like, what's wrong with him? And he did the same thing to me, because when I let my ex give me a silent treatment for 7 months, Joe said to me, well, he said something like, oh, silent treatment. Yeah, how long did he give you a silent treatment for? And when I said 7 months, he told me, he's like, and I thought to myself, what the hell is wrong with her? That's what it is, you know, like that's why getting yourself to the other side isn't only just being away from the narcissist. It's recognizing who you are as a person, understanding that you deserve more. Now it's easy. I can look back and you know, and you can have a good relationship later, by the way. Joe and I have managed to really have a mature relationship. We've learned so much from what we dealt with the narcissist. All of us can really have the relationship of your dreams. Like sometimes, you know, as painful as this is, I think sorrow is kind of, you know, when you go through something, when you go through pain, it helps produce the good times. And that sounds weird, but that's happened to me so many times. It'll seem like something bad has happened, but when you learn from it and when you move forward, you can really reinvent yourself into anybody that you want. If you are with a narcissist, if you're with an abusive person, if you're with a toxic person in any way, remember that you have value. The narcissist, the toxic person, they just want to bring you down. They want you to feel so bad about yourself that they can control you, that you are essentially a slave to a narcissist. You're there to be mistreated. You're there for them to do whatever they want because it makes them feel better about themselves. When you recognize who you are as a person, what you deserve, so many things change. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has helped somebody. Just really, if somebody, think about who you are as a person, what you deserve. Think about your own kids, what you would want for them. Like I said, I let myself, you know, I'm not blaming myself, I'm going to say this, but in a way, I let myself be beat up and stayed with somebody. Like I didn't put myself ahead of that. I never thought this is so wrong. But when I think about my own daughter, you wouldn't even want to know what Joe would do if somebody lifted a finger to Paris. You know, this is the type of thing we matter to. So thank you. I will see you on Monday. I'm not sure. I have a few different videos coming up that I want to talk to you guys about. I'm thinking I'm doing a video with Joe over the weekend. Hopefully, we did it last weekend, but I lost the video. But I have some other things I want to talk to you guys about in the next video, so I will leave it for there. I hope everybody has a great day, a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.